My dear crystal lovers, welcome back to the channel. If you are new around here, my name is AM. I'm a small business owner here in Copenhagen, and I have a web shop at AVIUVI.com where you can find the most amazing and spectacular and ethically sourced crystals from all over the world, and I will leave you a link for it in the description below. But today is not going to be about crystals. I really love doing these vlogcasts for you guys. You guys seem to enjoy them, and I definitely enjoy sharing some of my thoughts and everyday spiritual practices here on the channel. Sometimes I've found that it's a lot easier for me to express myself a little bit more clearly in a vlogcast instead of in front of the camera. English is also my second language after all. Today I want to elaborate on a little bit on the last vlogcast that I did and also the last video, and I want to talk about our current time, the Zeitgeist as I sometimes call it, because it is a challenging time for many of us. And the least I can do is try to give you guys some perspective and upliftment. A lot of energy workers and a lot of spiritual workers like myself have been expecting the collective challenges that we've experienced in the last 3 to 4 years, I would say. And hopefully we can provide you with some tools that are valuable and useful for you. Perhaps you yourself felt a calling to support the collective during this time. I know for myself, I have benefited so much from other energy workers all over the world who have shared their wisdom. But not everyone is on the same location along this road here in this life. Everyone has their own journey to travel. Some will lead the masses and others will quietly transform their own perception in silence. Some will show the way out of cynicism and out of hopelessness. Others will amplify it and be the contrast needed in order for the collective change to actually happen. Some are holding space for healing and others are carving out the space for enlightenment and for ascension. So I know some of you guys listening, you have learned really useful and really valuable healing techniques along your journey. Perhaps you've been forced in your life to learn spiritual and mentally and physically healthy ways to transcend anxiety and stress and trauma. And others of you have felt this call to learn healing modalities in order to be able to serve humanity. In any case, I really want to applaud you guys and encourage you to share in your network and beyond what has worked for you. Someone might benefit from exactly what you have to offer. Breathwork, meditation, song, dance, movement, diet, practices in nature. That wisdom is really, really helpful. Use your voice, speak up, share. I'm just gonna tell you though right away that this might mean that you are going to lose followers on social media, maybe even friends in real life. Because when you point out things that are not pretty and you ask questions that are not comfortable and you shed light on the dysfunction, even if you do it in the most loving way, not everybody is gonna like it. So show compassion to the person next to you. Hold empathy for those who struggle to face the truth. It's not an easy time, and there is a lot of misdirected anger and fear. This is the game of high duality and amplified polarity playing out here. But we're finally collectively facing the truth and waking up. And I'm so happy to see it all around me. All of this going on in the next couple of years and over the last 3 to 4 years is our own stuff that is being cleared up right now. None of this is new. Millennia of programming coming up to the surface and getting cleared out, and it's a huge mess. So no wonder if people are losing their marbles. It is a huge, huge purge. So if you're able to hold space for others, then do it, because a lot is still happening unconsciously. but it's bubbling up more and more rapidly. Some would define this as clearing up karma, and I'm sure you've all noticed how the bubbling up is happening more and more rapidly. So like one crisis is constantly taking over the next and the next and the next. We are definitely on the fast track here. It's not about religion, it's not about nationality, it's not even about humanity. What is going on now is all about spirituality. One of the main reasons why we see such an enormous reaction now is because humans, to some degree, still recognize the divinity in children. I've heard the word humanity being thrown around a lot lately, and I think the word humanity or humanity in general might be a little bit overrated, but that's not why we have such a massive reaction now. It is going way beyond that. Collectively, maybe we have not been able to recognize how holy and how divine other adults are, or the divinity of nature, or animals, even the human physical bodies. It says a lot about how far we have traveled into the darkness, that the sacrifice of children have to be the last resort for us to truly turn towards the light. We are seeing the underbelly now, and it is going to shake our entire foundation as a global community of what we are and who we think we are. There are a lot of theories about who is actually in charge of how and why history plays out the way that it does. But just to make it really easy, we can boil it down to quote-unquote service to self-consciousness. And what we're all doing now is directing ourselves towards the service to all consciousness. Ascension is happening. There is absolutely no way back. So the service to self-consciousness is being cleared from us on an individual level, but also very much and very vividly collectively. But in order to do so, it has to come up to the surface and into the light for everybody to see. And it becomes really clear to all of us who chose to live in service to self-consciousness, what systems, what industries are built on service to self-consciousness, which countries embody service to self-consciousness, those who are exploiting and profiting from any crisis. It's going to get really honest over the next years. Now, we collectively are beginning to realize how corrupt these systems are and how they deliberately attract individuals who are willing to be corrupted. How long we've been programmed to be desensitized to the spirit in others, to the spirit in ourselves, and basically to the spirit in everything. All the momentum of the past is being activated now. Generational trauma. Obviously, Europe, where I'm from, has a lot of clearing up to do. And finally, what I'm seeing is the beginning stages of accountability, not from the systems, not from the politicians, not from the media, but from people, from individuals waking up now. We are realizing that we are not so different, after all of us, all over the world. And perhaps we have a lot more in common with each other than we were told to believe, or that we have in common with the structures and the systems and the individuals representing these systems, and that these systems may in fact not represent you and your interests. They're simply not operating on behalf of you. We're definitely still in the catalyst stage, and there's still a lot coming up. Anger can be a relatively good thing here. Anger is action-based, it's a motivator, and it means that we're moving out of hopelessness and complete numbness. Relative to depression, anger is an upwards movement, and it's a clear sign that we are starting to have more access and actually notice our feelings. All these events pushes us eventually to come together in unity. We look beyond our superficial differences, and instead we find commonality, the desire to be liberated and live in harmony and connection is really strong now. So we come into our hearts, into coherence, uniting in peace, building communities. We obviously cannot wait for the system to change. That is not how the program works. Nobody is coming to save us. The Savior is within us and amplified when we unite in love. So I'm not going to pretend like I have any clue how people directly involved with the current humanitarian crisis feels. But I do know that we can expect a counterbalance because I see people waking up all around me like I've never seen it before. The process of restoration often looks really chaotic though. I am so hopeful that the desire for love and true liberation will push us to come together. Instead of believing in corrupt systems, we share, we support, we empower each other. Deeper insight, deeper understanding, deeper connection, spirit affirming, life affirming, instead of death affirming structures that keep us in a state of constant separation. Crystal lovers, stay clear, protect your energy, hold the light. This is a revolutionary time in history, and I'm so excited and so filled with love over what's coming up next. This is when we find our true identity. This is when we find unity in the biggest scale possible. I really hope you found this vlogcast empowering, and I want to say thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this vlogcast and you would like more of this type of content, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. It helps me to know what you guys want me to talk about, and it also helps others to find this content if that is what they're looking for. And I want to wish you the most amazing day with so much love to you and to yours.